Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Burnt Pancakes podcast. I am your host, Katie Fensky, and I'm so glad you are here joining me again for another momversation. Well, we just had Thanksgiving. It is now Black Friday and the holidays are coming up, but I'm already starting to think a little bit forward to New Year's and 2024. And that means resolutions and setting goals. So it's a known fact that 80% of people do not actually fulfill or achieve their New Year's resolution. But I have two guests on today, and we're going to talk about how between the three of us, we are that other 20%, the 20% that set a big goal for 2023 and have gone after it. So these girls are so near and dear to me. I am so excited to bring them to the podcast. And we're going to share different tips that are totally doable to anyone that will help you achieve the goals that you set, big goals, little goals, whatever it is. So we've got some really great strategies. And I have a very big announcement that I cannot wait to share with you. I've been keeping this under wraps for a couple weeks, but at the end of this episode, we are going to be announcing something really big that you guys are going to absolutely love. So make sure to stay tuned to the end of this episode and enjoy my friends.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited to bring this special episode to you where two of my best babes, Katie and Magan, are joining. And we have something very, very special that we're planning for the new year. And we can't wait to share it with you. Now, Katie is a mom of three, used to be a teacher, turned now podcast host, potty trainer, and mom connector extraordinaire. Magan was in the Marines, a law enforcement officer, and she uprooted and manifested her dream life as a real estate tycoon. She's got a podcast. She is signed with a book author and wrote her first book. How excited am I to get to spend time with you guys and share about our fun new adventure.
Okay, what about you? Introduce yourself too.
Christina. Yeah, what about you?
Hi, I'm Christina. I do not have a podcast, but I am a clinical hypnotherapist and the founder of the $1 Million Morning Routine, in which I help people get attached and accountable for transforming their lives in small ways that compound over time.
Awesome. Okay, so I would consider all of us to be in that 20%. So we know that 80% of people do not stick with their New Year's resolution, but 2023 has been a big year for the three of us. So I thought it'd be fun to start off by sharing what our goal was for this year and how it's going. So who wants to start that?
I mean, I think Christina should start first because that was such an incredible introduction that I think you should start first if you don't mind.
Oh, no problem. Well, thank you for doing this with me and everyone listening. So 2023 was a big year for me. And although my goal didn't really sound like it had podcasts and it didn't even have hypnotherapy as a clinical practitioner, but it did have that I was going to stop beating myself up and stop limiting how much value that I had. I knew that I had a light inside of me and that I wanted to connect and be a change worker or connect with people, but I didn't know how. And all I did was keep showing up with myself in a way that was like I wasn't worthy. I couldn't do it. Who was I to do that? There was a lot of imposter syndrome. And I wanted in 2023 to stop talking that way to myself, to stop feeling like I wasn't worth it, that I wasn't going to have these big dreams because ultimately I wasn't worth that. I didn't know what to do. I wanted to stop all of that. And that was my goal for 2023. And I did it. I joined this mastermind where I met these two gorgeous babes. And I also really focused in on my morning routine. And so it took some time to get it perfect, but those precious moments that I fill my cup every day keep me always in that momentum. And after all of the subconscious reprogramming that I've done, like through our mindset or through our mastermind, and then also through hypnosis as a practitioner and as somebody who's had that many times, I have now broken that, and I don't feel that way about myself. I am like, I'm lighter. I have more peace. I'm not walking around stressed out, waking up in the morning at already a 5 out of 10 and stressed. And all I did was open my eyes. So it was a pretty big year for me. And I'm so excited to be sharing this kind of energy and helping other people with their new, they're breaking free of their limiting beliefs too.
That was really motivational. Is there anything that you do? What is a non-negotiable in your day in order to keep this new mindset up? Is there something that is a non-negotiable? Like you are going to have either, is it your morning routine where you get up early and nobody talks to you until you get that done? Is it your affirmation? Like what is that one thing that you do every single morning to keep yourself on track?
It is 100% my morning routine. And in that morning routine, there's 3 basic fundamentals that I always go. And I try to add a 4th when I have time. That's like something fun that I'm doing for myself. It's a new hobby for me right now, but it's 3 non-negotiables for sure every day in my morning routine.
Can you share them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, top secret.
Oh, no, it's not top secret. So I always start my day with gratitude. I skip the snooze button. Snoozing does not do well for our brains with neuroscience. We do not need to be starting a new sleep cycle that takes approximately 90 minutes and we're only 9 minutes into it and wondering why we're tired. I also start with gratitude. 3 things that I'm grateful for each day. 3 amazing things that are going to happen for me today, and an affirmation in a way that I talk about myself, and I change it every day. That just reminds me of who I am, what I'm faithful to, and what I'm going to do next. And so that's part 1. Part 2 is reading. Every day, something that nourishes my heart, my soul, my mind, my growth. And the 3rd thing is movement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I know you shared your morning routine with me and also said, hey, I will check in on you. I will help you be your accountability partner. And that was such a game changer for me. Just having someone else there to kind of kick you in the butt a little bit.
Well, yeah. If you're not a morning person, if you're one of those people that set multiple snooze buttons, that's not me. I'm a morning person all day. I get up at 4:30 in the morning happily, but I can't stay up past 9. So
this is late for you.
I know this is very late, but I'm the one that gets up in the morning, and as soon as the alarm goes off, I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? I'm already in that mindset, but there are a lot of people that aren't like that. So that's where Christina comes in.
Totally. I used to set my alarm clock 30 or 40 minutes early to snooze.
But I think you can train yourself to be a morning person. You don't have to say, I'm not a morning person. You can change your mindset. Then that's what I was learning. This is why people hit snooze and this is why you shouldn't do it. And it was oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. I can be a morning person. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was I was hitting snooze for at least 4 times a day. And now I beat my alarm clock up.
Whoa. Love that. All right, Magan, share with us, what was your big goal this year and how is it going?
Well, I have a lot of big goals because this was my first official year in the state of Texas. For people who don't know my story, if you don't follow me on my podcast, you soon will, because my podcast is great. And I talk about my story, how I was in law enforcement for 10 years. I absolutely hated my freaking job. I went into it loving it, but became a single mom. And the last 4 years of my career, being a single mom and working in law enforcement was becoming a nightmare. My nanny was working for me full time. I never got to see my daughter, and I needed a way out. So I quit my job, sold my house all within the same month, moved to Texas, got into real estate without even a real estate license yet. So I got my license, I hit the ground running, and I used to journal back when I was in law enforcement. The one thing that got me through this year was journaling. And I used to journal when I was in my patrol car or whatever. Anytime I had time to journal, and I used to write about how I was going to be a very successful Texas real estate agent. And I wrote that every single day for a year straight. And as soon as I got here and I got my real estate license, like I said, I hit the ground running. I think I closed 9 houses in 3 months, and I'm up to house 36, soon to be 39 by the end of this year. And that's pretty successful. I'm also just now getting into fix and flips. And that again is something that I've always wanted to do. And I'm just now I feel like 2024 is going to be my fix and flips year. This year was my buy and sell. And then also I've always wanted to write a book. And that had been in the back of my mind for years, but it took finding just women who were like-minded like me, who had goals and, bigger than themselves and stuff like that to actually get me to start writing the book. So I started writing the book, I think it was like 6 or 7 months ago, and I'm working on that. I just signed on with a publisher.
Yeah.
And
oh my gosh.
As of 2 days ago.
Yes.
As of 2 days ago. And what am I missing here? I'm sure I'm missing something, because I had like so many. So the real estate, fix and flip.
You started a podcast this year.
The podcast. Oh my gosh. My podcast is so, I might be a little biased, but I love it. And I think it's because I have fun doing it. It's not one of those things that where I dread. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to go interview this girl. Like, oh, I don't have time for this. Like, I look forward to it. And it's so fun just having those conversations. I don't know. It's just so fun to connect with other women, and then for them to tell their stories, and I get to highlight them and bring them up on a pedestal. I love it. I'm such a cheerleader. I'm such a like, you go girl. And I don't know. I thrive on that. So the only one thing that I did have on my vision board, but I took them off. I wanted to find my soulmate, and it did not happen for me this year. And I know you and I, Katie, we had a sideline conversation a couple of days ago. You're like, you should do this and you should do that. And I'm like, do I even want to try again? Because I did try. So the one thing that didn't manifest for me was my soulmate. It was just 2023 was 110% work. And we need to work. So
yeah. Well, what I love about your story is we were in a group call one day, and I think someone asked, like, what's one of your big dreams? Like, if you could just like do something that you've always dreamed of doing. And you said to us, I want to write a book. And I don't know if you had ever said that to anyone before, but you're like, you guys, this feels crazy. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I want to write a book. And the fact that you have thousands of pages written, you have a writing coach and a publisher. I'm like, how is me? Like, it's so inspiring to me. Like, you're doing
Shout out to my writing coach, MK. She keeps me in line, and she keeps my word count in line, all of the things. Yeah.
But it's amazing when you speak something out loud in front of a group of women that will support you. What could happen?
Totally. And then you add in those like pieces of community, and then you add in that accountability. When you reach out to a group, you join a program, you join something, you get a coach for something, you put a little skin in the game in something, and you really notice and show up a little bit differently. And I know that happened for our mastermind. And before, like, Katie, I want you to share your story. I wanted to say, like, one of the favorite things that I love is the cross between you guys is that those stories that you share about women and their stories, their values, how they show up in the world. I know, Katie, you're going to share about your podcast, but it's like the momversations where you have conversations with moms. That's like, it's so meaningful and it's so connective. And Katie, like when you're Megan, when you're sharing the stories on your podcast about like so many different types of women and their stories, it resonates. I love them both. I'm obsessed. So kudos to you both. And I love that like connection that you both have that way.
Oh, thank you.
All right, Katie, tell us about you.
So
spotlight's on her.
My goal at the beginning of the year, I signed up for the mastermind group because I just knew I wanted to start a podcast. This has been something on my mind for like 2 years. I wanted a chance to talk with moms. I loved meeting a mom at the playground, hitting it off, and just having a good old conversation. but I also felt like I could bring that to other moms, but it was just like, I just didn't do it. It wasn't doing it. So this year I was like, this is the year I'm going to do it. Like this is happening. But I had all those limiting beliefs of there's already a million podcasts. Who's going to follow me? I have a tiny little following, what if I'm not funny enough? What if I'm not popular? All those things going through my head. But I said it in January. I said, I am starting a podcast. And in March, it happened. Like, figured it out. Like I'm 42, but I could be techie and, get a microphone and figure things stuff out. So
my gosh, you do brilliant work. I love it.
It's out there. It's on YouTube. It's on Spotify. It's on, all of those things. And I love it. It's the same thing. I love doing it. I get off a call and I'm just like, that was so fun. Yeah. I love it. So,
and that was like so early in the year for you, Katie. That's like March. So there must have been like, you like nailed it so quickly in your, for your,
I had a moment. I was out for a run one day, like a couple weeks after it started, and I just started bawling. Like I don't cry that often. It's just not me, but I just started bawling thinking, oh my God, I did it. Like this thing that has been weighing on me, like I need to do this. I need to do this. And it was like, I did it, but it took a lot of work on my part, like I needed work on myself to feel like I could do it. So I think
self-discipline.
I think that's something we should all discuss. Like, what was it that got you to the point? So for me, it was, I needed to work on my mindset. I needed to work on my limiting beliefs. Starting in January, every single night I went to bed and I listened to subliminals, like confidence, self-love, to get my mind to believe that I was the type of person who was worthy, capable, like that needed to change my mindset, my limiting beliefs. So that was like a big game changer for me this year. What about you guys? What's something, well, we know your morning routine, Christina.
Yeah.
Magan, is there anything that you did that really like propelled you this year to hit that goal?
Honestly, the course. I was one of those people, believe it or not, like I felt like I needed cheerleading. I needed somebody, I don't want to say permission because I knew I was like, okay, I want to do it. I just needed cheerleaders. I needed that girl gang that was like, you can do it. Like the tough love, the just get it up, just start typing, just start writing, or, just whatever. I needed a community. I'm one of those people. I'm a social butterfly. I'm an extrovert. I needed a community and I didn't have that. Being in a brand new state, I had like 2 friends, which I love to this day. And I'm so thankful for them, but they're not what I needed. They were, good, great girlfriends to like go vent about our kids to and stuff like that. But I needed cheerleaders.
So would you say, so like so many people don't stick with their resolutions? Would you say that's a huge thing? Is just that accountability piece? Like you just need someone alongside you.
Oh yeah. I knew that like I had you guys in my pocket. I could pull out my phone and text you guys or DM you guys on Instagram or anything if I was having an off day. I always had like-minded women. I had access to you guys, and that's what I needed. I didn't have that before. I really did need that. And that helped a lot. And I could go to you and tell you about my success and it wouldn't come off as a brag versus if I went to like my other girlfriends and I'm like, look what I did. And they'd be like, great, Megan. But I can go to you guys and be like, oh my gosh, look what I did. And you can be like, hell yes. Like, this is what you've been wanting to do. You finally did it. It's so different. It's a completely different vibe. Like I said, like I needed my village. I bought the course that we all met in and I invested in myself and I like to say I bought my village. And sometimes that's what you need to do. If you live in a rural place or a new place that you don't know too many people, or you have a bunch of girlfriends, but they're not on your level or they're not in the direction that you're going, go buy a course and go buy your friends because it pays off. I swear by it.
Yeah.
That like the idea that we need like a new flock of birds to, right? Like birds of a feather. That's like great saying. It's like, make new friends, but keep the old. Some are silver and the others are gold. It doesn't take away from like that community, and you're right, that space, but like I really felt like it was like a cathartic place for me to really lay my heart out on this space and be like, and also then felt safe to really go like, why? Like, why am I, like I don't live in my childhood anymore. So why am I being limited in my thoughts, in my ideas, based on a 5-year-old who lives in a single mom with a single mom that's living paycheck to paycheck? And that, we're like, no disrespect, mom. I know you worked hard because I know my mom is going to hear this, but it was a struggle. And so like I was living with this story of struggle still. And so a community provides us accountability and this safe place to just like say this stuff out loud so that we can also reconnect or disconnect something that's not working anymore.
Right. And I think every woman shared her dream and we were like, yeah, go for it. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh, a book? Are you a writer? I don't know. It was like, oh,
Yes.
I will buy your book. When is the signing? Because I'm going to be there. So to have other women who were like there cheering you on, huge.
Priceless, in my personal opinion. I definitely would have paid whatever that coach was asking for. It was absolutely priceless. I mean, I looked forward to our calls. Oh my gosh, such a good time.
Well, do you think that it's time to announce our big secret?
Yeah, I can't like hold it back anymore.
I can't
so
either.
Can we
I've
do
been
that
for weeks? All right, who's sharing? Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
We are officially launching the Goal Getters New Year's Gala. This is going to be life-changing for women. It's a 6-week course where we are going to teach all the strategies to set goals, create habits, change those limiting beliefs that are stopping you from living the life of your dreams. But not only that, you're going to be supported by the 3 of us. We are all invested in this, and you're going to have a group of women that will be your biggest cheerleaders. So I have like chills right now just saying this. I'm super excited. So why don't you guys give a little tidbit of like, what are some components? What can people expect? When are we meeting? Go Megan.
I'll jump in really quick, only because I feel like I'm living my manifestation story, and I'm also living my vision board. I am a very big believer in vision boards and visualization. It goes hand in hand. I mean, as you can see here, maybe you can. I have my vision board is on all screens of my home. It's on my phone. It's on my computer. It's on my wall. I even carry around a smaller card just to have it on there, because there is science that backs that. If you are constantly reminding yourself of your goals periodically throughout your day, you're more likely to achieve them, as well as writing your goals down. I also carry around a notebook. And in the front of my notebook in Sharpie, I wrote down my goals too. You want to be constantly looking at those things to keep yourself on track. Also, it rewires your brain into a point where you're now looking for those types of opportunities, where before you write down your goals and before you have those vision boards, you're seeing tunnel vision. Your brain has an algorithm and you're seeing the same things over and over again, versus looking at your goals, preferably every hour on the hour. I know that sounds like a lot, but I mean, I can't afford to lose track. And if you are one of those people too, that like you're all in, like I am all in, you want to make sure that you're staying on course, and your brain automatically opens up to finding other opportunities that you would have never seen prior. So sorry, that's my rant with vision boards. I swear by them. I have, like I said, I have them on every screen that's an electron. Even my daughter's iPad has my vision board on it. I'm just saying, if I'm looking at it, it better have my goals.
So you are going to be leading us in a full training on how to do vision boards.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. And we have the science backing to it, how, these work. And whether you follow any manifestation coach out there, even Rhonda Byrne, the creator of The Secret, talks about the importance of vision boards. So we have all the science. We did all the reading. I did all the reading just so that you don't have to. I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes version of why this actually works.
Awesome. So we
Yeah,
have
I
goal
feel
setting, we
like
have vision boards. Christina, what are you going to be sharing with us?
I'm already so jazzed because you're mentioning my favorite thing, the neuroscience behind it, right?
Yes.
Our subconscious mind is always problem solving in our favor. All we have to do is just set our sights on what we want. We can't be living in a space of what we don't want. And sometimes we don't know what it is that's holding us back. And so we have these big goals or dreams we're visualizing, or at least we feel like we're visualizing. And this syndrome comes in for us like, who are you to do that? And this comes from a spot. And sometimes we're learning tools to manage our triggers. And this is where I think the most beautiful thing that happens with hypnosis, and that's what I'm going to be dabbling with, is changing the subconscious mind and your limiting beliefs by reconnecting or disconnecting something from your past somewhere, or a series of things that is no longer working in your favor. Because the truth is, somewhere along the timeline, something didn't work out in our direction, and we're still living like we're there right now. And it's not. It's gone. And so the subconscious mind, 97% of our whole mind is subconscious. It's our habits, it's our emotions, it's our limiting beliefs, it's our triggers. So instead of having tools to manage triggers, what if we just made peace with the triggers? So that is what I'm going to be specialized. That's what I specialize in, is helping reframe triggers and spaces so that it's like, you, instead of having more tools, you are just less triggered.
I love that. And I'm going to be tackling a little bit into that mindset, how to use subliminals to, same thing, tackle that subconscious mind, that 97%. So we'll be talking about that, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be so fun.
Mm-hmm.
So would you say this is for like an entrepreneur who wants huge goals, or is it just a stay-at-home mom who wants to find joy in that mundane life of hers? Who's this for?
This is for everybody coming from a 100% single mom / entrepreneur. It doesn't matter what you are. This is for anybody that has a hard time keeping up with their New Year's resolutions. It's so easy to give up come mid-January, February 1st. Half the time we're just like, we had that goal. We're going to go to the gym every single morning. We're going to get up at 5 a.m. We're going to be at the gym. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And then come mid-January, we're not going to the gym anymore. We're hitting the snooze button. We lost our accountability. We are not doing our morning routine. Well, there's a reason behind that. There is it just goes so much deeper than just getting lazy or getting complacent. There's science behind it. As a Marine, we talked about in the Marine Corps, there's a reason why boot camp is 90 days. You need accountability for 90 days for something to be instilled in you. That habit needs to be instilled in you. If you can make it past 90 days, it now becomes your non-negotiable. There's things that I learned in boot camp 15 years ago that I still do today. I walk around with a water bottle at all times. There's water around me at all times, because in boot camp, when I went in the summertime, there was always a water bottle in our hand. That was a non-negotiable. Well, now it's a non-negotiable here, and my daughter does it too. I'm just saying, I know water and the gym is two separate things, but if you instill a habit, it's one of those things. Like, that's what we can help you with. That's who this is for. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you work. Stay-at-home mom, working mom, or man, we don't know. That's what we're trying to help you with.
And what, like, I think, like, what do you think, Katie, too? Like, anytime that someone, like, isn't there a spot where, like, we're kind of abandoning ourselves, that are our trust in ourselves when we make a plan, we're so excited, and then what happens? What do you think?
When you're just by yourself, you have no one to like hold you accountable either. And so that's what we are. We're going to be leading these live trainings. You're welcome to attend live. We want you there live. If you can't make it, it's absolutely recorded, but we'll also have a private group that you can be a part of. So you're never going to be alone. Like, you'll always have us, the other members. We're all there for you.
Yes, helping you make the commitments, to keep the commitments you made to yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're making it to yourself, right? The commitment, what is it? The commitment that you crave or the connection.
The commitment and connection you crave. Yep. That's what we said. And we are pricing this. Like, you will pay for this because we know how important it is to invest in yourself. Like, show up for yourself. You know, we're all moms. Like, we spend so much money on our kids. We, give for sports, we give for that. But when was the last time that you sat down and said, I'm going to do this for me? This is going to be for me. Like, I know, like, I want to lose that baby weight this year, and I'm going to do it because these girls are going to hold me accountable. Like, I'm investing in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. I'm not losing the baby weight. I am creating a healthier lifestyle for myself. That's why I want to be healthier. Yeah.
And that's a great thing to just reevaluate the goals. And that's what we're going to do. And we're helping you, like, what is the goal, but like, what's behind it? What's the zhuzh, right? And that's part of it, right? Like, it's not just like, oh, I want to, there's something behind it. We're going to help you dig in and get that goal, like, really clear. We're going to help you show up for yourself. And I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for all of you guys to join and be a part of this journey. Like, you can create anything. You can create the life that is your dream. It's
there, for everyone. Yeah. I totally agree. And I know I had already mentioned it, but I really think it's important that when we invest in ourselves, we show up for it as well. I don't know about you guys, but I've gotten free PDFs and pamphlets and all sorts of things, and I just don't take it seriously because I just didn't have skin in the game. My commitment level wasn't there, so I'm so excited for all of our community. It's going to be amazing.
The Goal Getters New Year's Eve gala. So it's going to look like we're going to have a welcome meeting on December 31st for everyone who can make it. And then 6 weeks. So once a week, we'll be meeting live. All of those will be recorded. We'll have some bonuses in the recording course. And the last week, we're not going to tell you what it is, but it is going to be so special. It's going to be a party like no other, like nothing you've ever attended before. It's something I've wanted to do for a couple years now, and I'm so excited for this. So that is going to be that's going to be it. It's going to change your life. So waitlist is open. It's going to be in the link in the description below. You're going to want to get on the wait list so that you are the first to find out when enrollment opens. Anyone else have a tidbit to add?
I'm just excited, but I think I'm more excited for the last meeting.
Me too. Me too. The party. I'm calling it the party. The last meeting, it's going to be a party like no other.
Yeah, I like it. I like that. And then also don't forget, like, in between the meetings, if you guys need that extra push or that accountability or that tribe or that village, that's where the private Facebook group comes in handy. We will be there. We all have access to it. The other girls, whoever does decide to join us on this journey, will have access to it. So we'll all have that community. We're all going to be cheering each other on.
Yeah. 2024 is going to be our year.
Woo-hoo!
So great. Okay. So all the information will be listed in the description. You can find any of us on social media, ask us questions, because we would love for you to join us.
Come be a part of our tribe.
Yay.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. We'll see you at the gala.
You bet.